Today I'm going to make an unlikely terrarium. And I'm going to start by using some gravel for the drainage. And one thing you want to be real careful of when you're putting your gravel in is that you don't put it in real fast, like, you know, pouring it in like this or scooping it in, because you really stand a chance of breaking the glass container. So you want to just take it in by the handfuls and gently put it in. Okay, after that, you want to put a little bit of, I like to use some soilless mix, and I'm just going to put in a little bit of that to start with. And I call this the unlikely terrarium because usually when people make a terrarium, they're going to use tropical plants or they're making something that they're going to keep for a long time. This is more of a special occasion terrarium, and that's why I have selected spring blooming plants like daffodils. And you can pick these up at stores like Home Depot and Lowe's or any of your garden centers. And these are the miniature daffodils. The daffodils are bulbs, so squeeze them out of here. And I'm actually going to try to see what I've got. This is going to work pretty good. You'll see they come apart like this, and each bulb has its own little group of flowers. And I think it's kind of neat to let that bulb show and let some of those roots show. So I'm going to set that in there right now. Nestle it into the gravel. And you'll notice I'm not worried about putting my lid back on. I'm going to use this as a centerpiece. One thing nice about this, when I'm finished using this terrarium as a centerpiece, I'll take my bulbs out and put them in the garden. And next year, these little daffodils will come up again. If you find that something doesn't want to stand up, you can always take a little bit of gravel to bank it up to make it stay just where you want it to. Okay. I like to use the little button ferns for fairy gardens, and they go nice with the daffodils. I'm going to take a lot of the soil that comes on the plant off so that I don't have a lot of soil in my terrarium. I'm going to nestle this right in here in the middle too. Now I'm going to try something different. This is an onion chive, but it looks like a tall grass to me. So I'm going to take that out of the container. Give that a little haircut before I put it in there. I kind of want this to just look more like grass. Let's add a little bit of green here. This in right here. Okay. Now I'll just fill in with a little bit of soil. Something that I like to use in terrariums or fairy gardens is something called sheet moss. And when you use the sheet moss, it makes it look like a nice little ground cover. Kind of place that in all around. And when you water your terrarium and sprinkle it with a little bit of misting, the moss kind of puffs up. It also helps to hold the moisture into the terrarium. Now, when I make something like this, I like for it to tell a story. So today, I'm going to use a little fairy, and she's going to be, I'll find just the right spot for her. I might put down a little bit of gravel for her to be sitting on. Now, I've got a darling little bunny here. I'll put a little gravel down for him too. Here's the bunny. And since it's Easter, take this little basket and put some moss in it. And put a little egg in there. And I think I'm even going to add some more little Easter eggs. More to the foreground. And now you have an unlikely terrarium made with plants that aren't typical for a terrarium. Probably going to use this for about 2 weeks, and then you'll take the plants out and you can put them in your garden. But I think it's fun to use plants that you don't normally use in a terrarium, like the daffodils. All I'm going to have to do now is put a little water in there, and this will look nice on the table for a couple of weeks. And you don't have to make it be an Easter theme. You can use any of the spring blooming bulb plants.
Happy gardening.